on Drury Lane.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. And oh, what a beautiful day. Oh, it was another weekend morning back in the kitchen on Drury Lane. And oh, it was time to make the muffins. Usually fast asleep am I. But today, I was reading this interesting book again. While reading, I should have been baking muffins. I read this interesting quote. Here, let's see if you've heard it before. This quote says, 100 years from now, it will not matter what my bank account was, or how big my home was, or even what kind of car I drove. But the world maybe, I say will be, a little bit better just because I was important in the life of a child. While this author is unknown, I recently met Janine, the director of the Autism Society of the Greater Capital Region, who is playing such an important role in the lives of others facing autism. Let's tune in. Let's see what fundraisers they're holding and see how they play a role to make this life better for so much more.
Hi, I'm Rose Miller, President of Pinnacle Human Resources, and I've spent over 30 years in human resources, many times employing individuals with disabilities, including autistic individuals. I have found in those years that they have been some of the most amazing employees.
I work at Med Associates. It's a medical billing and consulting firm in Latham. I do a lot of data entry. I do medical coding, and it's a good job.
Michelle came to us through Branford Hall. They have their medical billing school, among other things. And the Career Center sent over a group of resumes, and she said, you know, we do have one person on the list that I don't know if you want to take a look at or not because she has a disability. And I said, well, what's disability? And she said, it's Asperger's. I didn't know a lot about it, so I actually just went to the internet and researched Asperger's and looked at some of the attributes of people with Asperger's. And actually I thought to myself, wow, I could use a lot of employees with Asperger's because some of the attributes were high attention to detail, that a person with Asperger's might like repetitive work. Someone with Asperger's, it's said, may have a longer learning curve, but once they learned it, their accuracy and all of those things would be probably higher than the average person in the community. So I thought, wow, those are strengths, not disabilities.
When I first got the offer, I was more than thrilled, and I just kind of like took it one day at a time. The longer I was with them, the more they made I felt at home there. The more kind of secure I felt, and perhaps spoiled. Asperger's, is just kind of like ties it all together. For previous jobs, the other employers just understand what was going through my mind and why I acted the way I did.
With any employee, everybody's learning curves are different. I do think hers was on the long side, but I don't know if it was longer than some of the other employees I've had. But what I did notice between Michelle and other employees was while you're training, you have a real high attention to detail, and you really pay attention, and then once you learn it, you slack off. Michelle doesn't do that. Once Michelle learns it, she only gets faster and better. She does similar tasks over and over again. She works on a large pathology group and gets pathology reports, of which there are hundreds, reads through them, finds a diagnosis, and assigns a code to it. So she gets stacks of paper like this every day and goes through them, and many people have to have a lot of references to remember, this type of cancer gets this type of code. But over time, Michelle has just memorized them, so she can actually do the work faster than many of the employees that I had in that role previously. Don't take someone out of your running just because they have a disability. Take a close look and talk to the person you're interviewing them. Ask them what type of concessions they might need, or what might make them different from your other employees, and don't look at it as a negative.
I work at a company called X-Ray Optical Systems, which is in East Greenbush. I am one of the manufacturing engineers. I have a degree in electrical engineering from RPI. One of the main places that I help is just keeping some of the various equipment running. If some of this equipment, if it goes down, we have a line down situation and people are not able to complete what they're doing. So I get in there and I fix and repair the equipment and get it back up and running, and some production's able to resume.
I was working at the time as the director of HR at XOS. But I was trying to fill a couple of jobs, a couple of engineering positions and a couple of technician positions. And I had a relationship with some individuals at the Career Center at RPI. And one individual over there, he told me about John. She said he's very smart, very capable, very hungry for work, a little quirky. And I said, hey, he sounds perfect for XOS.
I went for an interview on Friday. I was hired the very next Monday. I disclosed that I had Asperger's syndrome right off the bat to my interviewer. There were a couple of reasons I disclosed. First, I know that accommodations can be helpful for somebody on the spectrum. And second, I also used it as a screening tool in a way. If an employer was not compatible with somebody with autism, they probably would have just not hired me. So I figured, let me just get this out of the way and see if we're a good fit. I initially started as a quality control technician at the end of 2011, and within a few months, I was thankfully able to get a promotion, and I've been at XOS ever since in that position.
Well, he brings a ton of intelligence. He's very smart, and he's a person that always has ideas on solutions. He's someone that thinks through problems. He's a problem solver. He's an innovative thinker, so it's just a mindset. He works at a place where the intelligence level is very high, and he fits right in. So in that respect, he's in the perfect place.
The work culture there, it's very inclusive and diverse. They welcome people of all sorts of backgrounds. What they're mainly looking for is an employee that can deliver and perform well. The nature of the work just fits me very well, and it fits very well for somebody on the spectrum.
It's totally opened my eyes. There's a ton of talent out there, and it's untapped talent.
People on the spectrum can definitely be an asset to your company. People with ASD have several strengths, some of which are attention to detail. They also have, you could say, sort of hyper focus. You put them on a task and they will not stop until it's complete. And also they're just studious and courteous workers.
As employers strive to meet their diversity goals, it is important for them to include autistic individuals we find that hiring individuals on the autistic spectrum is not a charity. It's actually good business. Contact your local Autism Society today so you can tap into this amazing talent pool.
That we receive support from our community is through our relationships with some of the local colleges, in particular the College of Social Welfare through SUNY Albany and the College of St. Rose. And in the last 2 years, we've started to take social work interns both at the undergraduate and graduate level, and they've been wonderful in working with us and our community. Not only do they help us because we are really a grassroots organization, but it also helps to inform the field and to make sure that they understand when they have someone that they're working with autism, that they have the skills to understand what's going on, to be able to help them effectively. And this year we have Christy, who's with us. She's from the School of Social Welfare, and Christy has been wonderful and has really been helping out in serving our families and individuals. And Christy, you can talk a little bit about what you like to do here.
Yes, I am continuing my master's degree at the University of Albany School of Social Welfare, and I decided to intern here at the Autism Society because I wanted to learn more about autism and how it affects children and families. And this Autism Society is a great way to learn about how to enrich our community by working on a macro level. And an individual level by providing resources to the individuals who come in looking for help.
For an individual living with autism today, they really face a lot of challenges. I have a 30-year-old daughter who has autism, what we would call an Asperger's range of autism, and Molly really struggles with employment, really understanding some of the social communication that goes on around her, and some ensuing anxiety, and it can really be impactful in an adult's life. Kids often struggle with social understanding in their classrooms. They may not be accepted by their peers. For example, everybody else gets invited to a birthday party. The child with autism does not get invited. There may be behaviors that are going on at home because of sensory overload. And so families are really challenged and stressed sometimes to raise their children at home, to keep their marriages together. They have, really an additional challenge in making sure that they are facing those issues and finding the supports that they need. Most of the individuals that I know who have autism are absolutely wonderful, funny, warm human beings that are seriously underrated, often because they present differently. And Christy, I know that you work with some of the teens that are up at Steve Zalowski's office.
Yes.
And you also work with some of the families and are getting to know individuals with autism.
Yes.
And so what are some of the greatest challenges that you see them facing?
Well, my beginning experience working with children and teens who are on the autism spectrum was in a classroom. And I had felt that it was hard for me to be able to give what I needed to give to them in a class of 25, because a lot of the times they're struggling with that social anxiety, struggling with sensory overloads and things that turn into behavioral modification that they will later have on their IEPs, or and in turn those not be able to make friends. So that social environment becomes extremely stressful for kids who are on the spectrum. So sometimes that stress is then in turn turned into something negative that can carry on from year after year, and if it's not addressed. If it's not addressed after the age 7, the earlier the better. Those types of situations need to be addressed, because when you have social when your social environment is so stressful, again, it could turn into something that you don't really want. And it could, like Ginny was saying, when you're in an environment or in a household with other family members, the last thing that you want is for the siblings, the parents to be in that household of it's only because that child is having a hard time communicating. So I've experienced in Steve Slazowski's office, again, going back to this family systems theory, where the family is extremely important to not only addressing, to working with the child or the teen to be able to work on the problem areas, but the child or the teen that you're working with has to work with the parents as well. So it's a back and forth situation to be able to progress to the next level.
You'll love it! You'll love a free muffin from the Muffin Man. And here's your chance to get one. A free muffin delivered to you directly in the mail for just showing today's charity that you care. No money or credit cards or purchases necessary. And here's your chance. Simply send a message of support to today's charity and receive a free muffin in return. Log on to themuffinmangives.org. Make today a giving day. Will you join the Muffin Man in giving to others? We look forward to giving a free muffin to you as a thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Matthew Oil. Most people call me Matt, and I am a student here at the College Success Program. I am a student over at SCC, and I use the College Success Program. It's a nice little place I can come and, get a nice little place to get some work done without the distractions of the SCC Student Union and even the library, unfortunately. It's also a nice place where I can come and practice life skills that I haven't gotten from 18 years living at home, such as cooking and using my debit card and stuff like that. Okay, so I was diagnosed with autism at age 2 after my parents had noticed that I wasn't talking beyond baby noises like goo goo and gaga. And yeah, I've been extremely fortunate that autism has not affected me as much as it has affected others, but it has still had its cost on me. I am probably the pickiest eater that God ever made. But while here at the College Success Program, they got me to try pancakes, and I've been having them for breakfast ever since that day I first tried them. Let's see, I've also I also have learned to take the bus, so that way, until I get my driver's license, I can commute independently, at least locally. And I am currently learning how to drive, much later than most people, but I am still learning, and I think that's what counts in the end. So I hope that after hearing my story and knowing that there are many other young adults such as myself, that you will support the Autism Society's Duck Derby and adopt a duck. 1, 2, 3. They didn't tell me I was going to have to catch 3. We need the help, so please help us. Support the Autism... What was it again?
Autism Society.
Autism Society.
Of the Greater Capital Region.
Of the Greater Capital Region. I will remember that one day. Thank you.
So welcome to our Duck Derby Counting Center. In preparation for our Duck Derby, we have about 10,000 ducks that need to be sorted, numbered, and kept track of. So if you take a look around, we've got box after box after box after box of small rubber ducks that are going to be going into the river over by jumping jacks. What's really nice is that adults with autism and other developmental disabilities have been stopping by to help us sort our ducks, to number our ducks, and many of them will be there the day of the Duck Derby. And again, these ducks are all available for adoption, so please, please, please adopt some ducks. They're just $5 a duck. The most important thing, though, is while the day is fun and the event is fun, These ducks really go to support our autism community. Individuals like Matt, family members like myself who need the help and support of the Autism Society to make sure that they're not struggling in our communities, that they have the very best life possible. So please consider adopting a single ducky, a brood of ducky, a flock of duckies, and if you're a business owner and you'd like to sponsor the Duck Derby, we would be happy to have you do that and have your signs out and let everyone in our community know that you care about the autism community and that you've taken the extra step and made the effort to be a part of our community. So if you'd like to get involved with the Duck Derby, all you have to do is give us a call at 518-355-2191, and we'd be happy to tell you how you can adopt your ducks. But there are other ways to become involved with the Autism Society as well. We are fortunate to have a large group of volunteers who helps us with answering the phones, helps us with registration during our events. So if you'd like to be involved or you'd like to know more about our services, you can find us on the internet at www.albanyautism.org. You can call us again at 518-355-2191, and we'd be happy to have you come and be a part of our community and help you in any way that you need it. So today we know that 1 in 68 individuals will be diagnosed with autism, and that means that there's really no community that's untouched by autism. Whether you directly know somebody or indirectly know somebody, there's a good likelihood that you have met individuals with autism and may not realize it. So why should the average person get involved in our community? Because we're not an isolated community. You are, and we all are, part of the same community, and so it's very, very important for you to understand autism, because I can guarantee that there's somebody that you know, that you work with, that you may be friends with, who has a child or direct family member with autism, and so it's incredibly important that we educate the whole community. A little bit of kindness can go such a long way to making people feel comfortable and accepted, and all it takes is a little bit of information, of which we are happy to provide for anybody who's interested. So you can be a part of our community while we are definitely a part of the larger community, and we would love to tell you more about autism. So please get in contact with us at any time. You can be a champion for the autism community. You can come out to our Hero Walk and 5K, put your capes on. We have a lot of superheroes who are going to be there that day. And really, it doesn't take much to understand about autism. We can tell you what you need to know, but it will make all the difference to somebody with autism that you may come across in your own community. This is a sample of some of the things that we make for our Live, Work, Learn program. Here are several of our plants that we have, including Lucky Jade plants. And we've got Swedish ivy, lots of recipes are attached to all of our herbs, and these are all planted by individuals with autism and other developmental disabilities, and they're here for sale. So if you would like to stop by and buy a plant, we would love for you to do that. We also have some wonderful goat soap that is made by a family. It's the Mariahville Goat Farm. And they have 2 teens with autism, and they've been making goat soap, using that opportunity to teach their son and daughter how to develop some work ethic, how to gain some employment skills, and the soap is wonderful. It's natural goat milk soap made right here locally, so not only are you supporting a family affected by autism, but you're also supporting just a local agricultural business, and that's a great opportunity. We also have these lovely photo cards that are made. We have a lovely photographer who works with us, and some of our adults will help package these cards, and we've got a very nice message in the back letting people know that if you purchase a card from us that you're supporting adults with autism, which is very important. And then one of our big new projects are wool dryer balls, and this is really an environmental, we really like to concentrate on being environmentally friendly. So the wool dryer balls, there's 3 in a package. They're 100% wool. You put them in your dryer, and you don't have to use a dryer sheet. So you dry your clothes naturally. You don't have any artificial dyes or chemicals in with your clothes. We recycle the wool, wool clothing, wool blankets, We're also very happy to have donations of those, and again, these are made by individuals with autism, teaching them employment skills, giving them something really engaging to do with their day. So it's really a nice circle of opportunity, supporting local business, supporting individuals with autism, and being kind to our environment. Some of our adults also make wine charms. They really love putting the charms and the beads along the wire holders. So if you're a wine drinker, I hope you stop by and buy a set of our wine charms. Again, an opportunity for adults to find employment skills and do something that they really like doing. And the last thing that we make, are cat toys. And these are just smaller versions. I don't know if you can hear the bell in there, but these come packaged with 3 and a little tiny bag of catnip, because what cat doesn't love catnip? And our community are great cat lovers. They are a wonderful pet for our community. They don't demand a lot of the social attention that a dog may. And so we're very devoted to taking care of our feline pets and using that as an opportunity to promote employment skills, hobby, whatever we can do to make sure that individuals with autism have something wonderful to do during their day.
Well, welcome back. I'm still trying to bake the muffins. But finally, I think we're finished. I hope you enjoyed our show today. If you would like to make an order or donate muffins to charity, then please go to the website listed below. With every muffin order, we donate muffins to the charity of your choice. I call it giving your dough to charity. I also encourage you to donate directly to the featured charity today by going directly to our website and getting their information. Thank you very much for watching, and keep on dancing through life by giving to others through love. Let me finish baking these muffins, and see you next time.